Good first day. Obviously a lot of new faces, but I thought the guys really did a nice job of understanding the structure of what we want practice to look like. I thought there was great speed, energy, being able to move around from place to place. I thought the coaches did a good job of preparing the players and what to expect. And obviously new installation. We've tried to maximize the walkthrough time, the meeting time that we've had leading up to this, and I thought the guys did a good job of being able to, for that to translate out to the field. Really being the first day that we're able to go out there and go, full speed with a football and being able to work on the rhythm, the timing. I thought our guys did a nice job, in a winter program of being able to do that. I thought there was, clean for the most part, in just the ability of throwing and catching. There were some good plays that were made out there. I thought that the defensive guys moved around quick. I thought there's definitely some explosive movements. Had a couple of great plays on the ball that showed up. There in the defensive backfield. It was good seeing guys. Like Jaylen Lucas got obviously his first reps back and showed speed, explosiveness. I thought was impressive. I thought the quarterbacks did a nice job on our first day. Like I mentioned earlier, defensive front moved well. Obviously you're just in helmets, so there's some limitations when you see on the just the physicality of what's going to be there, but just trying to did a lot of work separately, just trying to get techniques and fundamentals, that foundation set on day one. But I thought it was a good day. I thought there was a lot of things that we'll be able to build upon, in the next 14 practices, and so with that, we'll take some questions.
All right. I know you can never tell with injuries, timelines, but is Jaylen kind of further ahead than you guys would have hoped?
Yeah, there was some uncertainty of just exactly what it would look like. He got some work in tour duty, which, was, I'd say accelerated, but he's busted his tail to get back, to be able to put himself in a position. Like I felt very confident what today would look like, just because of the work I saw in tour duty. And he's been, he really attacked, his rehab throughout the course of the season, to be able to show what he showed today and what he's shown throughout this back part of the winter program is really impressive. And we're going to be smart with him still, just overall workload and things like that as he does return. But it was definitely great to see him back out there.
With Jaylen, is he, I guess with a different scheme, I know you can move him around anyways, but is he someone who's like more slot now? Is he still primarily running back? How do you perceive it?
Yeah, he's a great athlete. He can really do it all. That's Coach Malzahn got a great track record of utilizing playmakers in a variety of different places and what they can do, and he's definitely a great playmaker.
Is there anything different to how you're operating practice in relation to what you've done in years past?
There's some subtle and I would say distinct changes just in what the certain things that we want to see or emphasize, but as a big picture whole, it's I thought that was one of the things I was pleased with today is just the overall tempo and push, which we're working to make sure that the urgency and how we play and how we communicate obviously is critical, and I thought our guys did a good job of attacking that. So there's some dynamics that are different, but big picture mentality is definitely the mentality and overall structure is the same.
You mentioned that defensive backfield made some plays today. Can you talk about who in particular, and also who's kind of been leading that room with Shy being out right now, like you mentioned the other day?
Yeah, I thought I saw Jabril Rawls had a really nice play. I think it was a 7-on-7 interception. Did a great job there. There was one tip pass, interception. You're seeing guys rally to the ball. That showed up. I think Earl Little flashed. I really just liked what I saw from just the speed back there. Edwin Joseph has had a great spring, winter program going into spring. So those guys are competing. They're all working. I think Ricky Knight had a good play today, just seeing it. I mean, so there's a lot of competition, and I was pleased with the way that carried over really on both sides, of the competitiveness and some of the plays the receivers made. I saw some of the young receivers really push to establish themselves and to show that they were ready and they belonged, and that was real positive.
Almost following up on that, like the young receivers and the young players, how have you seen them kind of mature into their bodies, adding weight after a year of experience and now kind of trying to make this their own?
Yeah, I mean it's good. I mean they've done a great job. I think you're seeing guys like Lawayne and Elijah. Obviously BJ wasn't out today, but Mekhi Danzy was. He got some work, and it was really good to see just their progression of body control, strength movements. I really liked what I saw. In the freshmen. It was also Camden Fryer got out there and got some work. Had a couple good plays. That was positive to see. And then the true freshmen, the guys that are high school seniors, Boggs, Gelsey. I mean, it was good to see them out there getting quality reps and doing a good job with them.
Corey, from your perspective, with a practice with so many new coaches, obviously you trust them or they wouldn't be here, and you've worked with Gus before. But are you watching? Like, you don't know how somebody's going to be their first practice until you watch the coach and you're on the field with them. What was that like, and were you paying a little more attention than you?
Yeah, absolutely, and that was one of the things that we spent a good amount of time in preparation of expectation and what we wanted to look like, what we wanted to be, because everybody's done things different ways and they all come from different places, but there's a certain way that we want it to look and that we know that works, and obviously. Seeing the coach's approach, and obviously there's some changes, like I mentioned earlier, to things that we've done to be able to fit the dynamic of what we're doing, and so I was pleased with the coaches today, and but I'm absolutely watching all parts of it, making sure that the things that we're emphasizing, saying that what needs to happen, that they are happening, and it's a full team accountability, myself, all the assistants and, the players to make sure that, it looks and feels a certain way. And, I thought it was a good start. There'll be some things that we definitely need to clean up going into day two now that we kind of have a better sense of what it looked like, live, and, we'll get better as we get out there tomorrow.
Kurt, like at a few other positions, you brought in guys like Deuce and Squirrel in the receiver room for, the proven production, I'm sure the leadership a little bit as well. How have you seen them rise to the occasion of all you wanted in the meeting room, in tour duty, and today in the first practice?
Yeah, those guys are workers, and I think the mentality that they bring, it is, I've talked a lot in this offseason about edge, desperation. These are guys that want to be coached, they want to be pushed, they want to be that inspiration and, challenge to challenge others, to be challenged themselves, and I had a couple good coachable moments even with those guys, just about response. There was a drop pass today that was one that we can't have, and the response was of frustration, and I got to immediately point, address, and then see the correction. Coach Harris did a great job with the young man, and then the very next time he was out there, it was probably as good of a contested catch that you could possibly have, and those are the moments that you just want to be able to build upon, because life's going to happen when you go against great people and guys. You're going to have good and bad moments, and sometimes you're going to hit hit the expectation of what you want it to be, and sometimes you're not, and but you still get to be in control of where you let your mind go in that moment, and that is what, for me, that's what leadership is. That's where when bad things can happen, you're there to continuing to push, to believe, to be willing to go make that next play, and that's those are things I like seeing from a lot of these guys that have come in, is they're bringing an edge to the willingness to be an example, even when it doesn't necessarily go the way you wanted, from the maybe in the moment.
Could you describe just the relationship between Brock and Tommy and that and then the younger guys, in terms of Brock's been through this before with an older guy coming in and kind of still competing, and then Tommy's kind of starting over, but just played some football.
Yeah, no, it's a great dynamic, and it's one that it's competitive, and that's what both of those guys are great competitors, and I've really been pleased. Kevin Sperry went out, his first 7-on-7 set. I think he went 4 for 4, and just, impressive to see. Just hit the ground and going. So that's a group that I'm excited to see the competition just because of the personalities that those guys have, but they are. They're great young men, and they care about who they're getting to do it with. But they are sparks. Like they want to. It's not just their position group. They want to. I heard the coaching, the encouragement, the challenge to other positions there today, and you felt their personality, and that's something I think is really important. But you get to, through the good and the bad, you get to go put it on display with what you're doing with your reps, and you're seeing those guys encourage each other, but also the challenge for it to look a certain way, and what we want this offense to be.
Brendan? What did you see from Cam Davis through the offseason? I guess what did you see from him develop this point? He had some injuries and stuff.
Yeah, Cam came in, he was able to play as a freshman. He's such a physically developed young man. But really one of the things I challenge him with is making sure that any of the excess that we trim, and that was a big part of it. When you look at his body. His body composition, I think he's done a good job of him, Roydell, of those guys, really, having that as a big emphasis, and, to see the explosiveness. He had a couple nice plays, there today, just, in his movements, but he's one that, challenged it. Let's go take a step, and, you're going to have to battle through, the good and bad moments. Times your body feels good, sometimes your body's not, and, I thought that he was able to display, toughness through challenges as a true freshman, but now he knows what to expect, and he's put a lot of work into his body to go, be in the best position to take that step, and I think that's going to open the door for him in a lot of ways, but we get to go do it.
We're going to go 2 more for you, Kurt.
With obviously it's your team, it's your offense, but Gus is the coordinator. I guess early on, one practice in, what is that dynamic like? Is that still a feeling out process as far as how involved you are or aren't, or want to micromanage or not micromanage?
Oh, I got the best. I said it the other day. I think I got the best offensive coordinator in college football. I am here to make sure that we put our guys in the best position to be successful players, coaches, everybody involved, and I'm also know what it's supposed to look like, and I know what I want for this team, and to be able to have guys like Gus and Tony, and the leaders that they are, the minds that they have. It is, it's we say it's my team, it's our team. It's like this is a group that we put together to be able to go, push forward, make Florida State the best it can possibly be, and I'm very excited about what that dynamic is going to play out as, and even just seeing the preparation of what we had to do for a day one with 35 new players and all that of what that looks like. We had 16 high school, I think it was 15 or 16 high school seniors that are out there, and for those guys to be making plays in today's practice, for them to be moving with a certain purpose and understanding. I like that, and they put in a lot of work, and obviously our coaches, they know what to expect, and it's just about the consistency of building upon that every day. But I'm excited to see where this whole team dynamic is going to continue to push for us to be our best.
I know Coach White is someone you hadn't worked with before, bringing him on here. I guess in your couple months, how would you describe his demeanor, and what do you think he's brought to that side of the ball even before taking the field for the first practice?
Yeah, he's got a great he's got a great personality. He's there's times where he's really low key, and obviously I'm trying to think of the word I want to use, but he's just chilled. He's got great relationships. He's able to cut loose and just enjoy the time with the guys and the staff, and you've got a relaxed spirit about him at times, and then he knows how to flip a switch, and I think the guys would agree with that. That, I mean, he brings an edge, and I love watching him coach. I love the passion which he brings. Expectation and standard is something that is critical, but it's inspiration to that standard. And being able to inspire guys to push themselves harder than what they even think they can push. And so, I like his personality. I think our guys respect the way he comes to work, and we get to continue to build upon that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great night.
All right, we're going to have Justin Carter at the podium, but not